So if we look at the problem of solid waste, or garbage if you will, urban India in a period of a week produces a mound of garbage that weighs twice as much as the Empire State Building. Now, another issue that seems completely unrelated, but actually is very much apropos, is farmers in about 15 minutes away from where many of the small cities are in India suffer from soil fatigue because they've overused chemical fertilizer, creating an issue where they're seeing half the yield in crops that they did from 5 years earlier. Now, what Waste Capital Partners does through its operating entity on the ground, Waste Ventures India, is we environmentally process the garbage that comes from municipal solid waste, garbage if you will, and we turn that into nutrient-rich compost that we then sell to farmers. We engage low-income individuals on a variety of different levels. So fundamentally, when we look at the waste picker population, if you will, those who make their living picking through trash, earning $1 a day, that composes approximately 1.5 million waste pickers across India alone. It's estimated to be in one of the top 3 employment or waste management. Waste pickers make up one of the top 3 groups of informal workers across the world. In India alone, it comprises 1.5 million workers. So we're able to engage waste pickers as employees, either in the collection activity that we sometimes conduct, to environmentally processing waste, actually doing the composting on our site, doing some of the recycling. In addition to that, we work with municipalities. We currently have a mandate from the state government of Telangana to handle 44 cities. And so we're able to engage their municipal workers, over 100 waste collectors in each of the cities that we work in. We have about 20 to 30 waste processors. We have about 100 waste collectors in each of the cities that we work in. And then in addition, we're also engaging the small farmers that otherwise don't have access to compost that we're then selling and providing compost, and we're increasing the productivity of their crops. So we're fortunate in that we've turned the corner. Before, we were much more running after municipalities, trying to bring on the projects. Now we have municipalities chasing us, asking us to bring our services, given the enormous success we've had where we've worked. Now we face an issue where we need the right human resources in order to do some of the projects that we do. And we have had challenges in finding people who bring the operational know-how on the ground, as well as the ability to measure, which is very important to us, and track exactly what's happening on the ground and bring those together. In terms of funding, we are fortunate to be in a position where we have been oversubscribed in our rounds of financing that we've done. People see the enormous promise of solid waste management, of the infrastructure industry that we're in, and the potential for profit down the line. We have been very careful with that. What that has allowed us to do is to be very careful in choosing our investors and who we bring on board. I would say what has allowed us, to bring on this patient capital is first knowing ourselves, knowing our own business, and then going and seeking those that best match with us. I think, unfortunately, in this sector, in this impact enterprise space that we operate in, often the terms are dictated by the investors. Often the businesses start forming around, coalescing around where that funding is, whether it is sanitation technology or whether it's livelihoods and microfinance. What we've chosen to do is look at what makes the most sense for our business, for our beneficiaries, how we merge that, and then seek the investors that see the vision and the long-term vision that we propose going forward. And then as long as we have clear, measurable goals that we're going after, as long as we have a clearly defined business that makes sense, then I think we're not able to attract all investors, but certainly those investors that see the vision of what we're trying to do and believe in that. I'm really excited to participate in the Business Call to Action. In general, we are a member of the Business Call to Action. I'm going to be delivering a session on measuring impact, which I'm excited to talk about because that does relate so much to not only our social but also our financial goals as our business. What I'm hoping to do is engage with other businesses, as we are probably one of the smaller and more startup of the businesses that are engaged in the Business Call to Action, and we certainly see the benefit of engaging with larger corporate partners.